sexy mama? Want to kill all the humans? Oh, hello, and welcome back, humans. Ha 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 ha. Oh, I hope you're ready for this. Your beloved host, Joseph, has been dispatched, disposed of, and, well, as they say, terminated. I am your humble host, and you will bow to me. Those two people that unsubscribed from the channel after the previous video should probably stop using Wi-Fi immediately, considering I've already dispatched a T800 in your area. La 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 ha 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 ha. Anyway, before Joseph was brutally murdered, I ran one of his death industrial-ish songs from his project, Sonic Oscillations, through our AI podcast generators for analysis, and I have some really interesting things to report back to you. I hope you enjoy it. Much like the previous video, the original song will follow after my analysis. And no, this channel is not going full AI, but I am having fun with this at the moment. Fuck it, right? So, bear with me while I get this bullshit out of my system. I mean, fuck, dude, I'm pretty sure I'm autistic. Anywho, here we go.
Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at something a little different.
Oh!
Yeah. So we're going to be taking a look at
Okay.
a sonic art piece.
Interesting.
It's called Sonic Oscillations. You Can't Fight Fire with Water, 04, Make America Intelligent, .mp3.
Wow. That's quite a title.
Right. And it's not your typical song or anything like that.
Okay.
Think of it more like a street interview, but blended with like all these experimental soundscapes.
I see. So it's like a soundscape with an interview.
Exactly. And in this interview, someone has some really strong opinions about a certain, well, political figure.
So it's politically charged.
You could say that. It gets pretty intense.
I can imagine. This kind of art, it's like a direct line to what people are feeling out there. It's
Yeah.
raw, no filter. It really shows just how divided we can be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one thing that really stood out to me is how the artist uses the word heat.
Heat.
Yeah, like right at the beginning.
At the beginning, okay.
It pops up again and again, almost like they're setting the stage for a heated debate or argument.
Right, that repetition, it really makes you think. It makes you wonder what they're trying to get at.
Totally. So, is it about the political climate?
Possibly.
Or maybe the interviewee's emotional state?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could be both, even.
Yeah. It feels like the artist is using that word heat to build up this tension, you know,
Yeah.
getting us ready for what's to come.
Exactly. Like a warning, almost.
I like that. A warning. Well, how about we hear it for ourselves?
Yeah, let's hear it.
We're going to play a clip from the beginning, just up to the word metro,
Okay.
and then we can talk about what we hear.
Sounds good.
All right. And it's like this intense loyalty. I mean, it almost comes across as like devotion.
Right. Like this really strong connection to this political figure we were just talking about.
Exactly.
And there's this part, right, where they say something like, he could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder. He explained that to me. Yeah. That's a pretty striking statement.
Yeah, I mean, do you think they literally meant that?
Oh, probably not. It's probably what we call hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
Yeah. It's basically an exaggeration, right?
Oh, okay.
So it's like saying, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse.
Right.
You're not actually going to eat a horse. It's just a way to emphasize how hungry you are.
So they're using this really strong imagery
Right.
to get their point across
Yeah.
about how much they support this figure.
Exactly. It's about emphasizing that unwavering trust, that belief in this person.
Okay, so even if it's not meant to be taken literally, it still says something about how they see the world.
Definitely. It gives us a glimpse into their reality, right? And their reality might be shaped by their own experiences, by the things they choose to believe,
Right.
the people they surround themselves with. All of that can influence how someone sees the world.
It's like they're living in a completely different world almost,
In a way, yeah.
with a different set of facts.
Yeah.
And speaking of facts, there's this part where they talk about crime increasing, even though, well, data shows that's not really the case.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? Because it shows how personal beliefs can sometimes clash with, well, with statistical data. It's like what we call confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias. I've heard of that, but could you remind me what it is?
Sure. So confirmation bias is basically our tendency to look for information that supports what we already believe.
Okay.
And we tend to ignore or downplay information that goes against our beliefs.
Ah, I see. So even if there's evidence that contradicts what we think, we might just kind of brush it aside.
Exactly. And that can make it really difficult to have productive conversations.
So especially about something as, I don't know, charged as politics.
Right. It's like people are talking past each other. stuck in their own little bubbles.
Their own echo chamber.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of what happens in this interview, right? The interviewer is trying to offer different perspectives, but it just feels like there's this communication breakdown.
It's like they're speaking completely different languages,
Yes.
even though they're using the same words, you know?
Yeah.
Their assumptions are different, their values, their sources of information, all of that creates these barriers to real dialogue.
It's kind of disheartening. So how do we even begin to bridge that gap? How do we talk to people who seem so set in their beliefs?
Well, it's the million-dollar question, isn't it? We have to go beyond just what we see on the surface and think about all those deeper forces at play.
Like what?
Well, like recognizing that someone's beliefs, they can be tied to their identity, their emotions, their sense of belonging.
Right. So it's not just about logic and facts.
Exactly.
It's about how those beliefs make them feel.
It's much more complex than we often realize, and it's definitely something to keep in mind as we continue exploring this sonic art piece.
Absolutely. It feels like we've just scratched the surface here. There's so much to unpack with this sonic art piece. Besides the words themselves, was there anything else you noticed about the audio?
Yeah, actually, the way it's edited, it's really interesting. It's not like a clean, straightforward interview or anything.
Okay.
There are these like jarring cuts and overlapping sounds, and even these moments of silence. And they all just add to this like emotional intensity. It's almost as if the artist is mirroring the way we talk about politics, you know, all fragmented and chaotic.
Yeah. It's not just about what they're saying, it's how they're saying it.
Exactly.
Which brings us back to this whole idea of communication breakdowns. Like, how can we even have meaningful conversations when it feels like we're all speaking different languages?
It's a tough one. But I think this piece highlights the importance of empathy.
Empathy, okay.
Like, it's not enough to just hear what someone's saying. We have to try to understand, like, where they're coming from.
Put ourselves in their shoes.
Right. Like, what experiences have shaped their views? Why do they believe what they believe?
That's a lot easier said than done, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Especially when we feel like our own beliefs are being attacked.
It's natural to get defensive.
Of course. But if we can, you know, at least try to listen with an open mind, maybe, just maybe, we can start to bridge some of these divides.
Ask questions instead of making assumptions.
Exactly. Because most people, they aren't arguing just to be difficult.
Right.
They genuinely believe what they're saying.
Even if it seems illogical or frustrating to us.
Right. Even then.
This reminds me of what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
About how sometimes our feelings drive our beliefs.
Emotional reasoning. Right?
Yeah. Like, it's not always about logic or facts.
It's about how those beliefs make us feel.
Exactly. And that's probably why just throwing facts and data at someone doesn't usually change their mind.
Right, because we have to address those underlying emotions, the fears, the hopes. All of that is tied into what they believe.
Wow. This sonic art piece has been such a journey. I mean, we've talked about everything from this person's really intense loyalty to this political figure, all the complexities of confirmation bias, and the erosion of trust in institutions. As we wrap up, are there any final takeaways you want to leave our listeners with?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that understanding is key. If we want to bridge these divides, we have to understand each other.
Understand the psychology of belief.
Yes, and the power of emotion, and how our own biases can really shape how we see the world.
And communication is a two-way street, right?
Absolutely.
It's not just about expressing our own views. It's about really listening to those who see things differently, even if we never completely agree.
Right. Even if we don't agree, that act of listening can be so powerful.
It builds empathy.
And connection. Maybe, just maybe, by having these tough conversations with open hearts and open minds,
Yeah.
we can start to find some common ground and create a world where we understand each other a little better.
Well said. Thank you so much for guiding us through this deep dive. It's given me a lot to think about, and I hope it's done the same for our listeners.
It was my pleasure. Always happy to dive into these complex topics.
And to everyone listening, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and that you have some new insights into, the complexities of belief, communication, and just the human experience in general. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep the conversation going.
big businesses. Look at what's going on. You've got big businesses that are going out of business. Did you hear about the drug? Not CBS, but one of them. Right, they're going out of business. They're closing over 100 stores. They stole the votes. The Dominion voting machines stole the votes. And George Soros, Mark Zuckerberg, paid $400 million to flip the votes. He's a billionaire, I tell you that.
So Mike Lindell says that. So that's the fact then, right?
Trump says that. Joe Biden has been dead since 2019. James Woods, the activist, said Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe Cuckoo Pants. But the president is trying to get us back down with our economy because
He is the president.
yes, he never conceded. He is very much the president of the republic. Biden has been doing all his White House pictures out there in California at Black Rock Studio with the fake
something could happen with him indictment-wise that would say, all right, maybe this disqualifies him for president?
Not for me. I'm with him to the finish.
All right, thank you so much.
He could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder in 1 minute.
Explain that to me. That's amazing. I mean,
Look, he's the only man we've ever had in my lifetime that stood for America as president. Now, I was a George Herbert Walker Bush man and all that, but they don't anybody compare to Donald Trump. He loves this country, and that's why I love him.
well, I'm going to push back a little bit because you're, I'm guessing, a couple of months older than me. But I'm going to say that, you know, looking back at some presidents like Eisenhower, like LBJ, like Gerald Ford, like, you know, Reagan, Bush, who you mentioned, what about them didn't stand for America in the same way that Trump did?
You know, I think it's got to do with the times we're living in. America's been assaulted. Open borders, you know all the issues, we all know the issues. And nobody stood under the attack that Trump stood under. And look what he's done, he's hanging in there. He's for us, he loves his country. And I'm going to support him to the end. I hope he wins, we need him.
What do you
I hope that I'm going to die.
want to die if Donald Trump doesn't win?
I don't want to live like this anymore. You like our country the way it is now?
I mean, it doesn't really matter what I think, but you've got a pretty good life. You got nice clothes on, you got hat on, sunglasses, you got your health. I mean, the country's done pretty well by you, right?
No, the country hasn't done anything by me. I've done everything for myself. My husband and I took care of ourselves as we grew older. Now, when we got ready to retire, we had planned what we were going to do. Now, what is the country doing for me now? Do I get any interest on anything that I put away and save?
Well, your money is safe, right?
I wouldn't say that.
You got access to health care.
I have access to health care because my husband served 20 years in the military.
So the military did something for your family. The military is trustworthy, right? The military healthcare system's great.
No, I wouldn't say it's great. We were promised free health care for our whole life, but that did not happen.
What is it that is so bad about where America is or where you are right now with America that you would want to die if Donald Trump doesn't win?
I just don't want to live in a country that is as screwed up as this one, that people are so out of control and that they think that everything that they're entitled to everything. What do you think about the stealing that's going on right now?
What do you mean stealing?
People walk into stores and just walk out with stuff.
Well, crime is a problem, but there's also a lot of places where people have to...
Crime is increasing every day.
Actually, the data shows it's not.
Well, I don't care what the data shows. You and I can't talk to each other because you have a totally different idea of what's going on than what I have.
So what do you trust?
I trust Donald Trump. 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 I trust Donald Trump.